Hey friends, welcome to the Farm and Pastor's Wife. I'm Leslie and I'm so glad you're here. Today I'm going to give you a great idea as an unexpected guest on your Thanksgiving dessert table. Today we're making an Italian cream cake. During the intro, why don't you hit subscribe, hit that bell notification, and select the word all so you don't miss any video that I upload. Thanks so much, and we're going to get started on this cake. Okay, y'all, so we are making an Italian cream cake. Unfortunately, you will not get to see a taste test of this cake because, let me tell you, I just thought this would be a great idea to put on your dessert table for Thanksgiving. But I'm actually making it for my great niece who is getting married. They have come up with the greatest idea. They're going to have, a small wedding cake, but then for their guests and so on, they're having their family members or those around them that cook to bake cakes. And what a great idea is that, and how special is it that the people in your life making cakes for your wedding? I just think it's a wonderful idea. So they requested from me an Italian cream cake. So that's what we're making, and that also happens to be Isaac's favorite cake. Unfortunately, he won't get any of this one. So, okay, I'm going to assemble all my stuff because there's a few steps to this, and I'll meet you back right here. Okay, let's get started. I've gone and got my kitchen scarf that has towels on the end so I can wipe my hands. So we are ready to go. In here I have 2 cups of all-purpose flour. And to the all-purpose flour, I'm going to put a teaspoon of baking soda. A teaspoon of baking soda. And I'm just going to take a whisk and whisk that in. You can sift it together, whatever. Okay, now if you are using unsalted butter, you'll want to add in a half a teaspoon of salt, between a fourth and a half a teaspoon of salt to this, but I use salted butter, so I don't add salt to this. Okay, so we're just going to set this aside. I'm going to be moving you guys around on my island quite a bit today, so we're going to pivot towards the mixer now. Okay, so to the mixer, I'm going in with 1 stick of softened room temperature butter. Sorry guys, I had to cut the camera off because Bryant was coming in. Alright, and to the softened butter, I'm going to add a half a cup of Crisco. This is a 1/4 going in. And I am using off-brand Crisco because that's what I happen to have. Store brand, it's the Great Value brand. Alright, so we're going to get another 1/4 of a cup ready. And we're going to turn this mixer on and beat those 2 together for just a second. I'm going to put these things away while it's beating, or creaming. I think you say creaming. Okay, I've creamed it together, so now I'm going to add in 2 cups of sugar. This is a half a cup measuring spoon. So there's a half, there's a whole, another half, and 2 cups. I'm going to turn that up just a little bit. Put my sugar away. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn it back on just low to begin with. And we are actually going to separate our eggs. So I'm going to put the whites in here and the yolks in the batter. And we will use the whites in just a little bit. So they do go in this cake, but we do something special to them, and it just adds a fluffiness to this cake. There's one. 2. Whoop. I hit that one a little hard. 3. So, I'm losing the yolk. Oh no, I got some yolk in there. Let me get that yolk out. Okay guys, I'm going in with the egg number 5. And hopefully there's not too much yolk left in the whites. Now we're going to set the whites aside and we'll work on those in just a little bit. I'm going to turn this up a notch. Let it go for just a minute. And now's a good time to scrape the sides down. Whoops, I didn't mean to go in with all of that. I usually like to do it in thirds. But my flour had other plans. Okay, I'm going to turn it down. And well, I guess we'll just go in with the buttermilk. Just do it in thirds next time. Oh. Only when I'm videoing does stuff like that happen. Alright, here is another great time to scrape down the sides. Get any of the flour off the side. And I also like to go down to the bottom and just be sure everything is lifted up. And I scrape my spatula as I come out. Or at least I try to. Okay. Alright. Back down you go. Now we're going to add in the good stuff. I just washed my counter, so I'm going to actually add that flour in there. Okay. So we're going in with a cup of shredded coconut, and I just buy the flake kind at the store. A cup of, I toasted up some pecans, so a cup of chopped toasted pecans. Let me turn it on so we can get that mixed in. And a teaspoon or more of vanilla. Alright, now we're going to turn this off, if I can. Everything's backwards to me because I'm standing on the opposite side. Okay, so we're going to set that aside. Let me wipe the counter and then we'll start on the eggs. Okay, y'all, so if I had another mixer bowl, this would be a great opportunity to use it, but I don't. So we're going with what we have. Bryant, if you're watching one of my videos, honey, that's a great gift to get me for Christmas, is another bowl that fits my KitchenAid mixer so I can do 2 things at once. But I don't have it, so right now I've just got a whisk attachment on my hand mixer, and we're going to start beating these eggs. And I'm going to slowly turn it up. As it becomes frothy, I will turn it up little by little. Hopefully that yolk doesn't mess us up too much. You want to do this in a stainless bowl or a very clean glass bowl. We want to bring these egg whites to stiff peaks. So I'm going to keep this recording so you're in real time with me. And I'm turning the mixer up little by little. Maybe I shouldn't do this in real time. Maybe we should just time lapse it, but oh well. We're making a meringue, but we're not adding sugar to it. And what we're going to do is we're going to fold it in that wonderful cake batter. My oven has preheated to 350, and it's ready and waiting on the cake. I just have to spray my pan with the baker's spray. Okay, we're getting close. I want to show you that we're not quite there. You see, when I lift it up, it leaves a peak, but it's not a stiff peak. It falls, it flops. So we're going to go a little longer. The way it is right now, it would easily deflate. We don't want this to deflate. We want this to lift this batter up and make it airy and frothy and moist and wonderful. You just don't want to do this in a plastic bowl. I don't think it works as well in a plastic bowl. I always use a stainless, a copper, or a glass. And I think we're pretty close now. Let me show you. Give it just another second. Alright, I'm going to show you what I mean by a stiff peak. Lift it up. Well, it just stays. It doesn't collapse back down. So that's what I mean. This is just not lifting up peaks. Okay, so we're going to set that aside. We're going to bring our batter bowl. Okay guys, we've brought this over. And I'm cleaning off the spatula. And I like to give it a good little bang on the side there. Alright, we're going to throw that in the sink. We're going to slide the mixer around. Bring this here. And we're going to take our egg whites and we're going to fold them in. See, that's a stiff peak right there. That's perfect. All right. Oops, there was some egg white falling. All right, so we are going to just fold this in, this beautiful, delicious, and this just, look how it just puffs up that batter and makes it so fluffy and wonderful. You don't want to beat this in, you just want to fold it in. And that little bit of egg yolk didn't hurt a thing. Sometimes if you get too much, it won't froth up right, but I think I got most of it out. And we're just going to keep folding till we have it all folded in. Okay, all right, let me spray our cake pans and then we'll get that started and get them in the oven. Okay, so this right here is what I use to, and they make store brands as well, but this is the original. And I spray anytime I'm baking anything, I spray it. And I've already got 2 of my pans sprayed. So there we go. All right, and now I like to do this evenly. So what I do is I take my batter and I take a measuring scoop of some sort and I try to do the same amount in each cake pan. And then I come back through And do that same thing again. Because I want them to be as even as I possibly can get them. Okay, so now we're getting to the bottom, so I'm going to do like a little half a scoop this time. Half a scoop this time. Half a scoop this time. Little scoop. Little scoop. And a little scoop. This one got the least, so I'll just take the spatula here. Okay. Now, you know how you normally bang a pan? I'm still going to drop it, but I'm only going to drop it once because I don't want that meringue to deflate, but I don't want any really major bubbles in the cake either. So I will just drop it once on the countertop. Now this is going to go in the oven for about 25 minutes or until this, you know, it starts kind of pulling away from the side and you stick your cake tester in and it comes out clean. So let me do our little dropsy. That's it. Okay, it's going in the oven right now, 350 degrees for about 25 minutes. Okay, y'all, so the cake is in the oven. Now is the perfect time to set out any ingredients for the icing. In fact, I've already done that. I did that when I set out my ingredients for the cake. So we're setting out ingredients for the icing, and it's time to clean up because I'm going to need these pots and pans and mixer bowls and measuring spoons. I'm going to need all that for the icing. So I'm going to go ahead and get my cooling rack out and have it ready and wash up these dishes. My dishwasher's going, so it's going to be a by hands cleaning. Okay, y'all, our cakes are out of the oven. I let them cool in the pan for just a little bit, and then I transferred them over to a cooling rack where they are now cooling. They'll cool completely before we start on the icing. Okay, friends, well, it is time to make the icing to go on this wonderful, wonderful cake. So I'm getting my mixer put back together. I'm going to grab my whisk attachment. I'm going to let y'all just come with me. I told you I'd be spinning y'all around today. So I'm getting my whisk attachment. I'm going to grab a softened stick of butter and softened cream cheese. I do need to grab a couple extra things and I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, so in my mixer here I have, let me back you up a little bit. I have the cream cheese and the butter, and we're just going to get that started. Going together. All right, so now I'm going to add about 4 cups of powdered sugar, but I'm only going to add, you know, maybe a cup at a time. Sorry, I know that sound was annoying. There's 1 cup. Okay, I'm going to raise it up and add this 2nd cup in. And I'm not leveling off or anything. It doesn't have to be perfect. There's 2 cups. 2.5. 3. Now I'm going to give that a whirl before I add the last cup. You always want to start out slow when you're working with powdered sugar. If not, you will have a puff of powder everywhere. All right, that's good enough. I'm going to add in my last cup. Whoops. I'm going to add in my last cup, and then we'll just let it go wide open. All right. I don't know why it's sticking to my... Probably because I just washed it and it was wet. Alright, I'm going to slowly go up with the speed. And I'm also going to add in a teaspoon of vanilla or more. You know, I like my vanilla. You know, it's weird though. I don't even like vanilla ice cream. Isn't that weird? Alright, I'm going to let it whip like that on high until it's nice, fluffy, and beautiful looking icing. Then we'll scrape the sides and whip it some more. Okay guys, I have wiped down the sides, beat it some more. Always forget to lift it up. And that is some beautiful, beautiful icing. And you just beat it till it's nice and fluffy and a pretty. Now, if you want solid white icing, use like a uncolored vanilla. All right, hang on. This is what I'm gonna do with this. So good. That's all. That's all I'm gonna do. I don't know how, but that's all I'm gonna do. Okay, so I've got the cardboard rounds. You can buy these at Walmart. This cake is going to travel. I mean, not far, but it is going to travel some. So I'm just using a cardboard thing. And I'm going to take just a little bit of the icing. There's a little punch out hole there. I'm not punching it out, but anyway. Alright, so I'm going to get one of the layers. And I never worry about which way I lay them, like top or bottom. This is such a moist cake, y'all. So you got to be kind of easy with icing it. And I'm just going to put a nice little dollop here. And any excess, just go ahead and push it to the sides. Because we want the excess on the side. Because, you know, at the end we'll cover the sides. So if we can go ahead and get the excess over there. I actually thought about leaving it not naked, but only iced in the centers. But I don't know. I'm just a traditional cake person, I guess. My hands are impeccably clean. But I could be using a spatula to do that. Alright, so now let's go ahead and get another layer. Y'all, I don't make cakes for weddings or I've never learned how to decorate cakes, and I would love to learn how to decorate cakes. I'm not sure I would be good at it. But like right now it would come in really handy. Even if this isn't a wedding cake, it still would come in handy knowing how to make it pretty. And I put it on this cooling rack just to give it some height for me. And the main thing is I don't want any of the crumbs getting mixed in with the icing, so I'm trying to keep it. Let me get a, here, I got one right here. All right, let's go on with the next layer, and then we'll fix the sides. Okay. Tell you what, I'm gonna set that right there. I'm gonna use this because I'm just gonna put everything up here on top. Oh, and you know what I need to do? Hang tight. I need to put some wax paper around the bottom. Okay, now I'm ready. The reason you do that is so you don't get a mess everywhere, and we can just pull that out later. I don't know why I forgot. Okay guys, I thought I was filming, but obviously not. So I am still working on getting the icing smeared everywhere. And so I'm just going to keep icing this cake. I did say if I get crumbs anywhere, I'd rather my crumbs be up top than on the sides, because I'm going to put pecans on the side, on the top. So anyway, I'm still working on getting icing out of here. And so we'll be back. I'm going to ice this cake, and I'll bring you back and show you the finishing touches. I said I would. Okay, y'all, so here is what I'm going to do. I have just a few toasted pecans left from what I put in the batter, and I'm actually going to go all over the cake with it. Trying not to take off any icing in the process, but it may happen. And we're just going to decorate this with pecans, toasted pecans. That way, too, if anybody happens to be allergic, there's no doubt whatsoever that there's pecans in it. Okay guys, I'm turning it around to see where I've missed. And as they're dropping, I'm just picking them up and placing them. Okay guys, there it is. It's not pretty, but it will taste delicious. I'll give you a good picture in just a minute. Okay guys, I'm gonna take the parchment paper out. And you'll see that that leaves the bottom of the cake really pretty, no mess. very little to have to wipe up. But there we go, y'all. Here is, I'm going to turn the camera up and look at my sink full of dishes. I'm going to attempt to lift it up so you can see the pretty cake. Oh, I see some places that need pecans. Good thing I have more. Okay, y'all. So here is Italian cream cake. It is so delicious. I wish we could do a taste test. Maybe I'll add a video of the tasting at the wedding on another video. You know, I might just add it at the end. Don't you just love these? If I can remember, I will link my friend Jenny in the down below, if I can remember. But if not, message me and I'll get you her information. These things are so handy. I just wipe my hands whenever they're dirty. So I'm going to let this sit out for just a little bit and let the icing kind of set. And then we'll put it in the box. And my niece is coming to get it because it's her daughter getting married. And so she's going to come pick it up. I hope they're happy because I'm not a cake decorator at all. So anyway, I will see you guys next time. I hate you're not going to get any of this. Or at least not see me try some of this. But anyway, remember, the grease is hot enough. You can fry anything. Bye, y'all.